Basketball teams starting to reach the midway point in district play with more great games coming up this week. Right now, we welcome back Friday Night Glory's own Tarrance Johnson, who's seen a lot of basketball this season. He joins us to talk about what he's seen on the hardwood. Tarrance, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you too, Taylor. Happy New Year. Good to see you. I'm glad to be back here.
Good to see you. Always a pleasure to get you on here. And you got a chance to see a couple good games this week. Let's start with Highland Park and Jesuit. The Highland Park Scots were victorious. What did you see from them on the court?
Well, going in, I've seen an electrifying atmosphere on both sides of the court, with the student sections getting rowdy. Highland Park coming in second in the district, end up getting a 56-41 victory over Jesuit, led by Jordan Stribling. The big man had 19 points, 2 dunks, and he was crashing the boards really hard. This put them on a 5-game winning streak because they just came off a 61-37 win this past Friday over Richardson Pierce.
And next up, Highland Park, it's Lake Highlands, who's undefeated in district, #1 in the state, and they handed Highland Park their only district loss so far this season. What are you expecting to see in that matchup?
Well, I expect Highland Park to try to get that victory. Now, not only did they lose to Lake Highlands in District 65-59, but in the tournament, you know, those tournaments over the holidays, it was a 47-41 victory for Lake Highlands. So that just lets me know Highland Park really trying to get that win. Now, Lake Highlands is, I want to say, the favorite now that Duncanville won't be able to compete in the postseason. So they're sitting at 8-0 in district right now. They had a huge win over Irving this past Friday, 105-24, led by the #1 recruit in the country, which is Trey Johnson. He led all scorers with 24 points. So I look for Highland Park to go into their gym. It's going to be electrifying again coming this Tuesday on the 17th. So I think the Scots, if they can slow down Trey Johnson and get all their guys hitting in double figures, I think the Scots may be able to go ahead and get that victory.
Certainly a game worth watching. Yeah, Lake Highlands, they're a special crew this year. Will be interesting to see if Highland Park can get that W. The other game you saw this week, Forney and Lancaster. Lancaster comes out with a top 25 win. We talked to Coach Douglas earlier. What did you see from the Tigers?
I just see the Tigers doing what the Tigers do with the grit. You know, 3-time state championship. Coach Farron Douglas got his guys in tune. They beat Forney 66-70 this past weekend. They'll have 2 games now before they get to face off a Red Oak team that they lost by 1 point earlier in the season. So I know they'll be looking forward to that.
I was about to say they do have another big matchup coming up with the Red Oak here soon. How big is that game going to be in terms of what happens in District 14-5A?
Well, it's going to be a big game because right now Lancaster's sitting #1 in that district, but surprisingly, Forney is #2 in the district, and then you have Red Oak at #3 because Forney beat Red Oak. So basically, Forney will see Red Oak before they get to Lancaster, which will be on the 27th. So I look for Lancaster to come in strong like Weibo Nation loves to do, and it's going to be that district going to be real tight because you got them 2 sitting 1, 2, 3 like that. Anything could happen in the end. Forney and Red Oak could fluctuate, but let's just say if Red Oak beats Lancaster, and then it could be Forney sitting at the top of that district.
I was about to say, it will be exciting to watch that one down the stretch, see who emerges as the district champion. And before I let you go, I just wanted to let you sound off on the DFW domination in the high school football playoffs here a couple weeks back.
Oh, yeah, the sweep was nice, but the only thing, I wouldn't say the only thing, but Coach Reginald Samples finally gets his championship coaching in this game, 33 years. He should have been a champion, but he's always a champion in my eyes. It was great to see him and Duncanville Panthers go undefeated to finally beat North Shore. When I talked to Coach Samples, he just let me know he's coming back because he want to up the score. He want to tie it. You know, North Shore beat him the last 3 times, so he want to tie that and actually break that and keep them champions rolling in the city of champions. And also a shout out to Coach Jason Todd, back-to-back champions for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. He said call him Coach Todd 2 times now because he really, you know, did a thing over there. And then DeSoto, we got to get our hats off to DeSoto and Coach Clyde Mathis coming back to coach the Eagles. He got his first state championship. The last state championship was 2016 when Coach Todd Peterman was the head coach there. But let me tell you, Coach Todd Peterman was over there with Duncanville, offensive coordinator. He got him another ring with them Panthers as well. So shout out to DFW and all the coaches, and I hope they run it back, you know, to let us know how Dallas is doing it down here in Texas high school football.
All right, that's Tarrance Johnson with Friday Night Glory. Tarrance, thanks again so much for coming on.
Always a pleasure, Taylor.